Okay, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to do adult CPR. So what you're going to do is you're going to see this unconscious adult and people that might look like they're sleeping, but you don't know. So this is the steps that we're going to take to see if they're unconscious and when they are, what we do. So first, I want to make sure I'm safe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to survey the scene, look around. I'm going to look for fire, wire, gas, glass, and bodily fluids. So those are the 5 things that I'm really looking for to protect myself, because I want to make sure my safety is priority, okay? So that I can help this person. Let's say the scene is safe, I don't see any of those things, so I'm going to approach this person and I'm going to shake and shout. I want to make sure that they're not just taking a nap on the side of the pool or on the chair, wherever they're at. So I'm going to try and wake them up. I'm not going to shake them too violently, just a little bit, enough to wake them up. So if they don't respond, that means there's something wrong and they're unconscious. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate our EAP. To activate our EAP, which means Emergency Action Plan. To activate that, we're going to blow 2 long whistles. That tells our lifeguards to come bring the crash bag to come assist you with this person. So we've activated our Emergency Action Plan, our EAP. So the ambulances are on their way, the police are on their way, they have been notified. So what I'm going to do now, I know they're unconscious, I'm going to assess their vitals. I'm going to see, or I guess look for signs of life is what we call it. So when I do this, I'm going to put my fingers here to check for their pulse. So really this is in between the 2 major muscles in your neck, and you're looking for that carotid artery that's right here. So if you want to try while you're watching this video, try and feel your own, that would be awesome. The way we want to do this is we want our hand to be exactly in this orientation. We do not want to be checking their pulse like this or like this. We don't want to do that. That's a big no, because it looks like I'm choking this person. So if I have some patrons or some people that are visiting the park and they see me trying to help this person like this, they're gonna think I'm choking them, and that would not be good, even though you're not. So we don't wanna do this or this, because it looks like we're choking them, so we wanna do this. So I'm gonna put my fingers there first, and then I'm going to lean my head down against, I'm not gonna lay my head on their head, I'm gonna put my ear over their mouth to listen for breaths, and I'm going to look down their chest and to their belly button to see if their chest is rising or falling. This will tell me whether they're getting oxygen in and out of their lungs. So if I do this, I'm going to do this for 10 seconds tops, okay? So I'm going to count to 10, I'm going to be looking for those things. Let's say I feel the pulse on my fingers, so I feel that thumping on my fingers with the pulse, but I don't feel a breath in my ear and I don't see their chest rise and fall either. That means that they're not breathing on their own. That means they need assistance breathing on their own. So we should have shown you how to do the grip already, but you're going to do your seal. You're going to use your seal and do your chin tilt lift. So when I do this, I'm going to have either finger on each side of the jaw, and I'm going to thrust their head open to open up that airway. I'm not going to bend it back too far, because if you can hear whenever I'm talking like this, I'm barely getting the words out because my throat just closed up. And it's also closed like this if I'm unconscious. So you have to open it just ever so slightly to open it, not too aggressive. Okay, so with an adult, we're gonna do 1 breath every 5 seconds. So the count we do is slow breath, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, slow breath 2. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, slow breath 3. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, slow breath 4. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, slow breath 5. So I want you guys to practice that count just so you can get used to it. I'm gonna go to 24. If I notice nothing else happens and I'm helping them breathe, I'm gonna go to 24. How I know my breath is going in is whenever I'm down here getting the breath, I'm gonna be looking at their chest all the way to their belly button to make sure that their chest is rising and falling when my breath goes in. If it doesn't go in, then I'm not going to see that chest rise and fall. So I'm going to do one breath every 5 seconds, 24 times, okay? One thing that can happen is I'm doing my breaths, let's say I did slow breath 5, and I did not see that chest rise and fall. I didn't see my breath go in. So what that means is maybe I broke my seal, maybe the air went out the side or something. I'm going to assume it's my fault. So I'm going to put their chin down, take the mask off, put the mask back on, and re-tilt, re-seal is what we call that. Okay? So I'm going to try my 5th breath again. Slow breath 5. I saw the chest rise and fall. My breath went in, so I'm going to keep going. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, slow breath 6. Let's say that breath didn't go in. I didn't see that chest rise and fall. That means I re-tilt, re-seal. Slow breath 6. My breath still didn't go in. I didn't see that chest rise and fall. So on the second time it doesn't go in, that means that the airway is clogged. There's something in their esophagus. So I'm going to take this off of their face. I don't want that on their face in case they throw up what's in their mouth or their esophagus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get directly over this person. So essentially, you're going to be on the ground. You're not going to be on a table doing this. So I'm going to take this person to the ground real quick. So what I want to do is I want to put their arm up. If this dummy had an arm, I want to put their arm up and I want to put my knees all the way against their chest. And I want to start compressions. So when I do compressions, my arms are going to stay locked. I'm never going to bend my arms. One of my hands is going to be the hand that's furthest away from the head is going to be over this hand. And I'm going to put the center of my palm in the center of their chest. So if you can see where their nipples are, that might help you determine where you want to go. And you're going to put it in the center of their chest. I want to go about right here, okay? And put the center of my palm right there. So when I do compressions, I'm going to do 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay? So one mistake people do after this is they mistake this for CPR. But it's not CPR. We want to make sure that we got up whatever was in their esophagus. So what I'm going to do after those 30 compressions is I'm going to check their mouth. So I'm looking in their mouth and I see a little bit of food or throw up in there. I'm going to glove up. I'm going to protect myself in case their fluids are infected. So I'm going to glove up and I'm going to finger sweep it out. So I'm going to put 2 fingers in their mouth and sweep it out. I look in there and I got it all out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if their airway is open again. Let's see if I cleared it out. So I'm going to get my seal again. I'm going to get to the top of their head. I'm going to place it on their face. Do the chin tilt lift and go. Slow breath. So that was my first initial breath. I saw the chest rise and fall. So you want to wait to see if that goes in. If it goes in, I'm going to do a second one. Slow breath 2. Okay. Let's say the first breath didn't go in. So I did my slow breath 1 and it didn't go in and my chest didn't rise or fall. I'm going to go back to compressions because I didn't clear that airway. But what I did was my first and my second breath went in. So I'm going to clear the airway. So once I clear the airway, I want to see if they're breathing on their own again. So that means I want to assess or look for signs of life, assess their vitals. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to be looking for their pulse, feeling their breath, and looking for the chest rise and fall. I'm going to say that I lost their pulse. I don't feel that thumping on my fingertips. So that means I need to do CPR. So CPR is something separate from everything we've been doing so far. This means they do not have a pulse. Their heart is not pumping. So essentially what we're doing with this is we're going to do 30 compressions and 2 breaths. We're going to do this until EMS arrives. Okay, so we're not going to stop until the ambulance gets here. So So I'm gonna put my hands in the same spot. I'm gonna make sure my shoulders are directly over my wrists, and I'm gonna do my 30 compressions. What I'm doing with compressions is I'm pressing down on the heart, making the blood that's sitting in their heart move across their body through their veins and up to their head, so their head has oxygen. And then I'm going to be giving them breaths to give them oxygen as well. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay? I'm going to go directly into 2 breaths. Slow breath, and I'm still going to be looking at their chest to see if it rises or falls. And then I'm going to say 1 round of CPR. I'm going to do it again. And remember, you want your knees up against the chest and their arms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm just going to do another round. Okay? So for an adult, let's say someone comes with the AED, which you guys learned about the AED in the AED video. So you're going to open it up, and it's going to talk to you, right? So what you're going to do, let's see, you're going to place this on the adult. So for an adult, we're going to put it in upper right, lower left. So it's opposite for them than it is for you, so I'm going to put this in the upper right, this in the lower left. And then the AED is ready to go. So when we're testing you after CPR, we want you to know where the AED pads go. Okay? Alright guys, so I just showed you how to do an adult. Now we have a child, so this is our child dummy. It is the same scenario, it's the same beginning. So just go ahead and rewatch the adult video for that. I'm just going to show you what is different with a child. So with a child, the breaths are going to be different. So whenever I'm giving you a rescue breath, I only give half breath. Remember, for the adult, it was a slow breath. But for this child, it's going to be half breath. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. The half breath is so that their lungs are smaller. So we're going to be giving them less oxygen. They don't need as much. So I'm going to be giving 1 breath every 3 seconds. Alright, so this is how our count goes. I'm going to do my chin tilt lift, and I'm going to go half breath, 1,000, 1,000, half breath, 2, 1,000, 2, 1,000, half breath, 3, 1,000, 3, 1,000, half breath, 4, 1,000, 4, 1,000, half breath, 5, 1,000, 5, 1,000. I'm going to keep going. Okay, so you do 1, 1,000, 1, 1,000, half breath, 2, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Then 1,000 tells you what breath you're on. Okay? I'm going to do that for 40 breaths. So for a child, it's 1 breath every 3 seconds, 40 times. Okay. Also, when I'm doing compressions for a child, they're going to be smaller than me, right? The way you can tell it's a child is you're going to look for signs of puberty. If they've gone through puberty, then I'm going to assume it as an adult, and I'm going to treat it as an adult. However, if this child is bigger in size in proportion to me, if I'm a petite person, I'm pretty small, I'm going to still use 2 arms. It depends on how big the person is compared to you. If you can't press into their chest, then you're not going to be able to do that with 1 arm. So for a child, in our situations, we're just going to use 1 arm unless you can't hear that clip or you can't press it if you're too small. So for a child, I'm still going to put my shoulder over my wrist and have my arm locked, okay? And I'm going to do 30 compressions, just the same like that, okay? Okay guys, so now I'm going to do infant. This infant I have here does not have a head. The head broke off, that's okay. We're just going to use it for this example. So when you have an infant, most likely the mom's going to be handing them to you. So what you want to do, what's going to be different with the infant is that you're going to check for the pulse in the brachial artery, which is on their arm, okay? So you're going to be looking for their pulse here instead of on their neck. That's because babies barely have a neck and they have so much fat, you won't be able to feel their vein right there. So you're gonna look for it on the brachial artery right there. Also, instead of doing, starting with them on the ground, you're gonna start with them in your arms, okay? And which we will show you how to do this in a video following this video. So as long as you watch the video after this, you should be good. Showing you how to do those. The other thing that's different with a child is that if they have something in their mouth, you want to use your pinky finger instead of using 2 fingers because their mouth is too small. You want to use a pinky finger. Another thing that's different is compressions. You're going to keep your arm locked and you're still going to be directly over them, but you're going to just use 2 fingers to press into their chest, okay? And then the breaths. The breaths for an infant is going to be cheek puff. Again, this is because their lungs are much smaller than a child or adult. So when I do this, I'm still going to use my mask. I'm still going to put the mask on the infant, and I'm going to do cheek puff, 1,000, 1,000, cheek puff, 2, 1,000, 2, 1,000. It's just like the child, except I'm doing cheek puff instead of half breath, and I'm still going to 40 breaths. Everything else is the same. Okay, so one rule with just child and infant, so this does not count for an adult. It's just child and infant. When we are doing CPR, which is usually when they lose their pulse. It's always when they lose their pulse. But you're going to do this with just a child or just infant. Okay? If there are 2 responders, so say I have another person that walks up to come help me, I'm not by myself, I'm going to just give them 15 compressions and 2 breaths. That is only for CPR. That's it. If I'm clearing the airway, I still want to do 30 compressions. So if they're choking on something, I'm not getting my breaths in, I'm still going to do 30 compressions because no matter how much more breaths I give them, I'm just going to lodge that back in there. I do 15 and 2 for CPR because that gives them more oxygen to their blood faster. So 15 and 2 because they need more oxygen in their blood than adults do. That's just for CPR, and that's for child